This could be one of those races where just any one death could make the difference.
For
I've actually watched both of them play live before from past GDQ event, and it does look like we are underway.
Come on, nod pipe to start. Can we get that? The answer is no,
not
the
today.
Absolute opposite.
So it looks like we will be going through a few stages.
At least we get to see an item right off the bat.
That is very nice. Now, with this particular flag set, we're actually going to be using the same settings that we did from last year's tournament. So any of you that watched last year's tournament, this should be very familiar. It does not include the more volatile elements that have been introduced in the most recent version of the randomizer. What they're going to be looking for is they're going to be generally looking for whatever pipe takes them to the end. DemonBattler, unfortunately getting mangled by some noodles.
P-Wing is the item we get from the first stage. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that P-Wing is going to be super nice.
Oh, man. Oh, this is so unfortunate. No chance to beat. Oh, wait. If DemonBattler keeps the power up, was it a mushroom? Ah, oh, damn it. He died again. That's unfortunate. Wasn't a mushroom the item in the tank level? Because if he gets that and then he does the clip, he could catch back up still.
For the P-Wing? Actually, they have a P-Wing, so...
Well, sorry, I mean the item in the the power-up box in the tank. You know what I mean? If he gets a mushroom out of that and then does the clip... Because, you know, you can't do the clip with the P-Wing. Can you?
I don't think
you can.
I don't think Garion knows that you can... Oh, there he goes. I was wondering if he was going to realize that you can actually fly over this level. It's 7-1 that you can't fly over. 7-6 you can.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. I mixed it up. And I guess Garion mixed it up, too. Because he didn't fly over it, and he totally could have.
Now he's been denied the chance, and 7-6 is a rough level to play through normally. It's something that you very rarely see played through unless you get it as your first stage.
Right, yeah. Unless you... I mean, it's amazing they got a P-Wing, which is actually perfect for this stage.
So, based on what I've seen from Demon, once he sees the stage, I fully expect him to take an intentional death.
Yeah, there it is.
And then use his P-Wing to get over. So this is going to put him in the lead.
Yeah, for sure.
And there he goes.
There he goes. Yeah, so this is... Well, it'll actually still be fairly close. I mean, Garion doesn't have a whole lot of this stage left.
Additionally, Demon's in lives trouble already.
That's true, yeah.
And I'm not surprised. This is actually pretty standard. This is standard procedure for Demon. There's a handful of people in this tournament, because I was actually the one that taught him how to play this randomizer, and I taught him that picking up an item from an early Toad House is always a good idea, because you never know what kind of levels you're going to get in the early game.
For sure. That's a good point. Oh, he's trapped himself in 4. I can't remember if it's 4-3 or 4-2.
I am slightly surprised that Demon chose not to go for any of the extra lives in this level, because there are a couple of extra lives in the stage that only take a few seconds to get. He just might not know where they are, but there are a couple of extra lives you can grab in this stage. Oh no! Oh no! 5F2. This can be a rough level if you don't know what you're doing.
Honestly, I feel like the purpose of this fort is to not stop. Just don't stop. It seems like all the potaboos are perfectly timed, so that as long as you don't stop,
and that's going to be a problem for
game over. Oh no,
that's going to be a problem for Demon. That's a game over. He is going to be able to pick up another P-Wing this time, so he will be able to skip the stage again. It's just unfortunate. He's going to need to play all 3, or effectively play 2 of these 3 first stages again. And we'll see how Garion does with the Lava Fortress.
As long
But
as
yes.
Demon doesn't feel like he's too behind, then he should be alright. Don't let it get to you.
Oh, absolutely. Things can turn around very, very quickly in Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. He's also probably going to be pretty happy with the items that he finds in the fortress, because having those stars, if you're not familiar with the patterns, make it quite a bit easier.
Well, we're gonna get to see if any of the pipes are gonna really help us. Well, if any of these two pipes, I should say.
We'll see if Garion decides to pick up the 1-up at the end of the
Yeah, he was doing.
and it looks like he does. That's
collecting.
very smart.
I'd be surprised if he didn't get that 1-up after doing that coin collecting. He just does not want a game over. No. I'd be worried about a really nasty windy fight, to be honest.
This has just been a rough start for these for both these runners.
Indeed. There we go. We get to be windy now. Ah, man.
We do, but how bad is she gonna be?
Yeah. It's not even a nice. Okay, well he's using it. He'll be over it.
I'm honestly not quite sure why he didn't just use it in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not certain either.
Because you know the level's there.
Right. Exactly. It's 1 and 2. Having the star was maybe nice right there. Oh no!
Garion jumped too late.
Yeah.
The timing to prevent Wendy from throwing out the rings while landing stomps on her is very tight, and it's something that you have to do a lot to be able to be comfortable with.
It feels pretty precise, and it's a real it really punishes you if you're a little late. Just eat that ring while you're trying to land on her.
And Demon, unfortunately, taking another death at the end of 4-6. This has just not been a kind seed for him at all.
Yeah, he's not having a lot of luck with this stage.
Depending on what enemy placements you get, it's
to do is the fort. Sorry to interrupt, but all he needs to do is the fort, and he'll be caught up with Garion. 4.
Oh my!
5.
We have thick candy.
5. Yeah. I wish I hadn't said anything now. I shouldn't have said anything. Of course it had to be a 5-bit Wendy right when I said that. Alright, now he's just gotta do the fort. As long as these Hammer Brothers aren't mean. That's all that matters.
They can be.
Well, they look like... I think they were just regular Hammer Brothers, I believe.
They were. I like this hammer use by. I like the hammer use there by Garion. So your hammer strategy for Group Flags 1 is generally use one when it will save you at least 3 stages, but try to save 1 for World 8 because having 1 hammer in World 8 can be very, very helpful.
Really? I thought that most people thought that you don't ever save hammers for World 8.
What I like to save 1, and here's why. If your progression to the end of Bowser's Castle is behind a locked door, then it can just be, how do I get to this fort?
Yeah, fair enough. But stage World 2, it's one of those, like, you always kind of wish you had 2 hammers when you get to World 2.
Oh, absolutely, because it turns World 2 into a two-stage world, just the pyramid and the castle.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to World 2 and you have 2 hammers and a cloud, it just feels... I'll just blind cloud over the pyramid stage. I don't care what stage it ends up being.
We do have music boxes from the mushroom card on the end card game. That's certainly not something our runners wanted to see.
Yeah, that's a very...
They They want to see hammers, clouds, tanuki suits, anything that makes the game easier.
Yeah, maybe a
not
hammer
music boxes.
Suit, you know, just in case you don't find it anywhere else.
They do want to have one hammer suit and 1 star for Bowser's Castle at the end.
Uh-huh. Alright, let's see this 5-hit Wendy. You can do this.
She is not being kind.
No. Oh.
That's trouble.
Oh, nice jump. Oh, that was such a nice jump.
Oh, no!
Oh
no, that's awful.
Oh, man.
And of note, Demon is on his last life again.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, he'll. Oh man, please, you can do this.
I like this call of using the hammer suit there.
Yeah, just extra hits is worth it. I mean, getting a firepower would be better, but
well, he knows there aren't any power-ups on the airship. There's just 2 stars.
Exactly. Yeah, it's there. He does know that you can't hurt her with hammers, I assume. Yeah, he does.
He does know. That he does know.
Oh no, she did the double ring. Oh boy, come on. You got this, buddy. That's it? Oh, good.
There we go. He's out. He's out. So now, from what we've seen of World 2, it's nowhere near as nasty as World 1 was. Although that's typically how these seeds go, is the randomizer does not try to balance for difficulty at all. So typically the seed is most difficult at the beginning when you have very few items to work with, and gets easier as you build up your inventory through end cards and just collecting items from Hammer Brothers.
Absolutely. Oh, he's going for the hammer.
I would like to see Demon take an intentional game over here.
That might be a smart move. Oh, there it goes. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know.
I don't think it was intentional, but after seeing that level, might give him more of an incentive to use his hammer.
Oh, okay,
that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, why not take a mushroom house as well? Honestly.
One other thing that I recommend doing when you're doing your tracking for this game is keeping track of what airships you've played. And the reason why this is because there are a number of airships where using a P-Wing can significantly increase the speed of the level. So if you've been keeping track of which airships you've played, you can determine the probability of whether using a P-Wing on that level would be useful. For instance, to fly over the mast in 2, fly over the mast in 3, it saves the most time in 6.
I honestly, I should know this, but can you not just build up P-speed with the tail and for the mast in the airship too? Or
you can.
P-wing? Oh, you can.
You can.
Okay.
You can in 2, but you can't in 3. You can't in 6. And then being able to get to instant P-speed with a P-Wing and other airships such as 1 and 5 can be very useful. Plus the option to do a P-Wing clip to save 4 seconds. It may not seem like much, but it does add up. A little surprised Garion is not going for the Piranha Plant there. It's a very short state. Well, he might now.
Oh, yeah, he probably will now.
Oh no, he's gonna play this. So 7-1 wound up. 7-1 wound up rolling 5-9, which is one of 2 auto-scrollers in the game, the other one being a beta stage that we in the community like to call Atlantis.
And they're both terrible. They're both terrible. We hate them.
This one's
terrible stages.
This one is significantly shorter, though.
Yeah, that's true. What I hate about this one, though, is sometimes you get an enemy set, and if you don't kill the enemies, it'll, like, overflow the sprite limit, and one of these platforms won't spawn, and that really sucks. I don't know.
Yet another reason to skip this terrible level.
Yeah.
When possible.
Also, which stage is that? 3, 2? that DemonBattler just died on?
You are correct. That can be a difficult stage depending on the enemy set.
That stage really messes with me. I want to do it fast and bounce off the cheeps to get to the end really quickly, but I always end up just getting stuck in the water and having cheeps eating me while I'm
bouncing
swimming.
over all those fish takes so much practice. It's very hard.
Yeah. For sure.
I get the feeling, well, we haven't seen the star item yet, but this looks like a very poor end card in terms of level skipping items or even useful items. Nice troll pipe on garionoldwolf's end. So it does look like he is going to need to go through and take the Piranha Plant route, which if DemonBattler values items as much as I had taught him, he might actually wind up skipping that level, which could wind up saving him a bit of time. We'll see what path he takes when he gets there. Come on, Garion, did you... Oh no. Oh, boy.
Sometimes those chompers can really, like, mess with your head.
Garion might have forgotten about pause strats.
Oh, pause strats end up messing me up more often than they actually save me, to be honest.
Pause strats are a thing.
They're cool. Don't get me wrong.
Like, it's something you should just be aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
so, by which we mean if you pause, those chompers will still keep going in and out of their pipes while you're paused. So you can time it so that you unpause when they go in if you need. Oh no. Demon, feeding Boss Bass again.
Boss Bass is not going hungry tonight. He's getting a feast. And Garion finding 8F. This is a really cool. This is a really cool level if you get to see all the strats for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a joke to say it's the best for it, but it is the best for it, honestly.
It is. It is. It has some amazing strats. Also based on what I'm seeing, I actually think Garion. Well, I would know this because I was at SGDQ with him, but Garion actually plays on NES, which is nice.
Yeah, he uses actual NES, or it uses a.
Garion.
You know what I mean?
Oh, just
barely missed that door. That had to have been probably like less than half a second.
See if he does swag clip. Aww.
I mean, it is swag, right? Because it doesn't save any time, I don't think.
It does not save any time, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
And Demon, unfortunately, taking another game over. I mean, to both their credit, this has not been an easy seed.
Yeah, it's been a little rough. This is a nice, relaxing stage. Although, I prefer the stage more when you come into it with no power-ups, because there's like 3 power-up boxes throughout the stage.
This stage, de-auto-scrolled, is pretty easy. I remember, in the vanilla game, when you're doing 100%, this stage can be a nightmare.
Yeah, this stage is horrible with this auto-scroll on. Especially if you get random enemies like this.
If anybody remembers the dark days of version 0.1 of this randomizer, before we had de-auto-scrolled stages, having that with random enemies was never fun.
Yeah.
And we should see Demon moving on to World 3.
No.
He's got it.
Trying to go for the fire kill, but I was just like, come on, dude, just go for the bounce kill. Like, you're not gonna get the fire kill any faster. But he got it, so he's cool.
Now, it looks like this World 7, the way it's set up, has pretty interesting pathing, at least in the beginning. But it does look like the pipe to the East Island is at least somewhat, if not completely, buried. Because Garion spent a lot of time in this World 7 and still hasn't found the way to the end.
I mean, I'm pretty certain that he has. I mean, he literally has to be on the right track at this moment.
At this point, yes. And it does look like Demon is skipping that starting area that Garion did, and Garion does find the way. It was just a linear and very convoluted path to get there.
Absolutely. Oh, don't try to get that, Garion. Why are you... How are you going to avoid that Spidey in that tiny space? But, doing a good job already with the pyramid stage. Nice.
He saw... Well, you see Leaf. You see Leaf, and Leaf makes the stage significantly faster.
Yeah. I just feel like it's incredibly difficult to time it so that you can get underneath that power-up box and then come back out of it and not touch that Spiny while you're doing it.
Little curious why Demon's playing this level, because he has no power-ups to lose. I could see Garion playing this level because he had a Leaf he wanted to conserve. But when you're small, playing this level is just very little value.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Let's see, which one is this? 6, 2?
6, 10.
Oh, 10. Wow, way later. Never mind.
I saw Garion trying to kill that sun.
Sometimes you want to, yeah. It's a nice feeling. Is he gonna... Yeah, alright.
He's going to at least finish the card to see... to see what items are here. And Garion, I believe, actually has a homebrewed program for Super Mario Bros. 3 tracking.
Yeah, he was mentioning that. I think... Well, someone in I want to say it was Macobra, actually, created the little tracker that he's using for the card game.
And it does look like he has the card solved,
right,
so we'll see what items we have.
Oh,
there is a single hammer. One hammer. So I think you play one more board until you get the hammer, and then you just stop.
Uh-oh.
Because there's a lot of trash in that other than the hammer.
Yeah.
Did you see how many music boxes and frog suits there were in there?
Quite a few.
Way too many for my taste.
Cleaned up carpet fort pretty nice, actually. It started off a little weak, but ended up doing carpet fort pretty quick. Nice little duck jump through the booths as well. Oh no! DemonBattler might miss this switch. Okay, no, he didn't.
He's fine.
Right. I genuinely cannot remember. Are both piranha plants the same? Like the hand levels? You know what I mean?
They are. They are. I'm a little surprised that, just for variety's sake, they're not shuffled between each other, but it could be a technical limitation. It just could be a why bother, because there's only 2 of them.
Oh, right. Are both the power-ups also the same? In the...
No, those are randomized.
Those are not, not like the hand stages in that regard, where...
Those are different. The reason why the hand stages have the same power up all the time in each seed is because they are the same item in vanilla. So they use they use the same. So they refer to the same. They refer to the same address. They all refer to the same address in memory, as opposed to the rest of the power ups in the game, which each have their own address per location that you find them in.
That makes sense. Oh my god, DemonBattler, such great dodges there at the end of.
They all pull from They all pull from the same table, the same entry in the power-up table. That's why.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
This is what happens when you watch Coding with Fred. But back to the game. It does look like Demon has found 6-9 and
is DemonBattler trying to wall jump? Is that what's happening?
He is. He is. He's actually hit the pixel twice in a row.
Come on, I want him to get this. Oh, man.
It would be so sick if he got this.
Oh,
he actually just got the pixel again. But what makes this so challenging is this is pixel perfect, frame perfect.
And it's also not, like, super worth it unless you get it almost immediately. You know what I mean?
Because this level isn't that long.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised he's still going for it.
He's still going for it. He must not be feeling great about the seed, and he just wants to pull off some swag.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. With the 2 game overs, he probably thinks that he's hopelessly behind, and at this point is probably just goofing off for the crowd's entertainment, which I approve of. Yeah, I approve of swag.
I'm down with that. Little damage boost off the Nipper to get through the Fire Piranha plant. Hey, one interesting thing about Beta 1.5 is that these enemies are not actually randomized. Yep, that's true. And I want to see someone kick a turtle and have it hit them in the face. Oh, didn't happen.
And the reason why these enemies aren't randomized is because Fred hasn't figured out how to shuffle the enemies in this level without the level crashing.
Oh, really?
But I imagine it's something on his list of things to do before version 2.0.
Those 3 Buzzy Beetles at the beginning of that beta stage, if they got randomized, it could be an absolute nightmare. That stage.
It could, yes. And even with the Buzzy Beetles as they are, they can be very treacherous to navigate quickly. Because since that entire beginning of the level is on a slope, you can't just duck jump. I like this. Demon is going for this item. Where are you going, Demon? Oh, he's building up P speed. Oh, he's not going for the item. Interesting.
Yeah.
Why would you hit that P? Why would you hit that P switch? I thought he was going to go for the item because there is an item that's about 15 seconds out of your way that, depending on where you are in the seed, might actually be worth grabbing.
I guess we'll never know what it was.
I used to swear by grabbing that item myself, and a lot of runners that are newer to the randomizer will grab that item. But the more skilled of a runner you are, the less worthwhile it is to pick that item up, because it takes a not insignificant amount of time to grab. At least until the coin heaven is de-auto-scrolled. If the coin heaven on top of that stage is de-auto-scrolled, then it makes a lot more sense to go grab that item.
I'll be honest, I've never grabbed it before. I didn't realize that there was a coin heaven that leads to an item in that stage. I guess if it ends up being like a cloud or a hammer, it could be pretty sweet.
And even if you're just low on items in general, it can be a good idea to go up there.
World 4 finished pretty quick.
Now, World 4 is usually pretty quick, especially if you have a hammer.
Absolutely. DemonBattler's thinking about his next move here. This last bit. Oh, and he makes it. All right, good.
If you just go, that last bit is easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like it doesn't want you to. If you just don't stop, then usually you're fine. But he made it through, and so although I'm worried about this last. Oh, Okay, alright.
You just don't want to let Boom Boom get away from you.
Yeah, yeah, letting Boom Boom get away from you can be absolutely nightmarish sometimes.
And of note, Demon's running pretty low on items.
Which stage is this? 3, 4?
3, 6.
3, 6. It's one that I don't see often because when I watch people speedrun it, they usually don't do this stage, if I remember correctly.
Well, you would only ever do this stage. There are 2 categories that do this stage. 100% and all switches does this stage.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, yeah. Because normally it's an auto-scroller, so normally you just cloud over it, go across the bridge, and then try not to get eaten by boss bass.
That's correct. The only reason all switches even has to play that stage is because there is a switch in that stage.
Right. Oh, Paragoombas. Worst enemy, and they make boss bass look like a chump.
Oh yeah, Paragoombas are the worst enemy in the randomizer because you just have to. You have to do the opposite of what you would normally do for every other enemy in its position. Because when they spawn, if you try to jump to dodge an enemy that you know is coming, and it's a Paragoomba, it'll just jump with you and you'll run straight into it. It's awful.
It moves at like a 45-degree angle with your jump and will always connect with you. It'll always connect with you in midair. And yeah, you only have to worry about it in Randomizer because normally you just know where they're all going to be if you're playing the game.
And that's the beauty of Randomizer.
Indeed, absolutely.
And we do see a hand level. So one thing of note about the hand levels is you get an item at the end of each of these, and whatever item that you get in one of them, you'll get in all 3 of them.
Hammer, come on. Or Cloud. Chicken Cloud. Ah,
P-Wing's not bad. P-Wing's not bad because that gives him an extra P-Wing clip he can do. So, to answer questions about what All Switches is a vanilla Super Mario Bros. 3 category, where you complete the game while hitting all of the game's 38 P-switches.
Yeah, it's a bit of an esoteric sort of.
Oh no, Garion getting debated by the star.
Yeah. That's a really bad time for a star power-up. Oh, and I missed it. I think DemonBattler was trying to bounce over Lakitu to get over the stage, but
that's pretty difficult to do. And one interesting note about 4-4 is it's one of the few stages in the game that actually has a difference between the NES version and the All-Stars version.
In what way?
The water level in the starting area and the All-Stars version has been lowered, so it's very, very easy to actually jump on the Lakitu in the All-Stars version because you actually start out of water.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I did not know that.
Because the All-Stars version, for the most part, is a pretty faithful port. That's just one of the differences. It's a very small difference, but it actually makes a pretty big difference on how you set that stage up in the speedrun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't go up top. Garion, don't go up top. Oh. Well, you won't have fire for Boom Boom now, unfortunately.
There's a specific path you have to take through the stage if you're big, but realistically, you can go any way you want if you're small.
That's true.
And the 5-7 beta that Demon just played, that's one of those levels where I actually like to get P-speed and then tap right on the D-pad so that you're going slightly less than P-speed to have a little bit of extra time to react to enemies. I also like the star use here. This is a nice star use. It will not last you for the entire level, but it will last you for most of the level.
So I think DemonBattler on that beta stage, he's able to just run right without stopping and basically made it through.
You're not guaranteed to be able to do that depending on enemy placement.
Yeah, for sure. He got lucky that time. I like that he went for it. Gung-ho.
And Garion has found Atlantis, but he thankfully has a cloud, so he does not have to play this level. I'm a little surprised that Demon is electing to play the front half of World 4, considering that he has 2 hammers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what? I don't know what he could be saving it for, exactly, but... might be saving it for something. I mean, it's 3 stages. You just always gotta skip 3 stages. Yeah.
Because 3 stages is the most value you're gonna get out of any single hammer, so I'm really unsure what he's saving his hammers for.
Oh.
The end of this level can just be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's difficult to go fast at the end of the stage because of that fire piranha plant. I mean, if you can run down there and duck jump or jump over the head of the piranha plant, then that's great, but it's not exactly easy to do that.
How are you going to duck jump? There's a slope there. That's what makes it so difficult, is unlike the actual 1-5, there is no flat ground that you can do a duck jump on. I do like this 5-up pickup by Demon, though, considering how rough the seed has been on him. Picking up the lives will absolutely wind up saving him time.
Yeah, because what is it, like 5 seconds, 6 seconds it costs you?
It's closer to 10.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's not like it's the 5 lives are definitely worth it if you're worried about another game over.
The reason why is because you not only have to sit through the fireworks animation of the screen scrolling all the way up to the top, but there's also extra animation time that takes place when the game plays the extra life sound 5 times. Once that sound effect is done playing is when the game actually goes to initiating the level transition.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Garion got a little munchered there, but he made it through.
That'll happen in that level if you aren't very fast. You need to be very fast to get through that level without taking damage.
Yeah, I still fail to not take damage on that stage a lot.
And Garion finds 7 F1, which is a level you do not want to see if you're small. If you're small, this level takes an extremely long time.
Yeah, it's so disappointing when you think to yourself, my god, if I only I had just used a power-up before I gave a leaf.
And the worst part about it is that, other than Boom Boom, there is no way to die in this level other than running out the timer.
Or, no, there's lava.
Oh, there is lava. Yeah, you're right. But at that point, it's probably just better. You're better off just playing the level regularly. There's that one room that has the lava. You are correct. I think what Demon needs to do here is just take a step back and mentally reset. And that's something that can be incredibly challenging to do.
I thought Garion was going to miss the pipe. He did a quick comeback there. I'm so used to seeing players just jump after the cross. You know, wait for the cross, and jump after the cross. Well, Demon should be able to finish this 4th place.
And Garion, despite being 6 worlds into the seed, is leaving no item behind. About world 6 is where I start usually prioritizing items less, because the later you get an item in a seed, the less likely it is to be useful.
For sure. Uh-oh. Oh. I thought that Garion was going to drop right in front of that Koopa coming down there. This is one of those stages. It's a 4... Which one is it? 4-1? 4-2? Yeah, 4-1. It should normally be really easy, but it could sometimes trip me up. Looking for stars, I assume, to fight the Hammer Brother with. Oh, and the star would have been great, because they're fire buttons.
You do still want to... Oh, nice star! That would have been useful about 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, for sure. I assume he's going down. Yeah, he's going down. The sandpit of proper play.
Depends on who you ask. Some people call it the sand of shame. Some people call it the sand of sanity.
It's sanity. Yeah, see, I want to call it that now. That's a good name for it.
That's actually DemonBattler's name for it, is the Sand of Sanity. So, mega shoutouts to him for that name.
Nice. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Gonna give me a heart attack, Arian. I thought he was going for the jump across the entire final pit there, but then he, like, slowed his jump up a little bit and freaked me out. Oh, nice. Barely dodged the socks. Oh, our first cloud. Is that our first cloud that we've seen?
No, that is not our first cloud. We've seen at least one other one, because Garion used a cloud to skip Atlantis.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Atlantis.
7-2 with a boss bass. You?
It's really unfortunate when you don't have a leaf, so you gotta build this bridge with the boss bass. Yeah, oh god.
That should be enough.
Please don't let this be a star. Okay, good. It's really annoying when that ends up being a star, right? Right there for garionoldwolf, because you can't go back up the pipe. Oh no, Boss Bass gets another meal.
That was actually caused a lot by the Paragoomba as well. Paragoomba and Boss Bass, not fun combination, and I absolutely do not blame Garion for P-winging over this level.
Definitely. Just for sanity's sake. Just P-wing over this. Get it out of the way.
It is slow, but slow is okay at this point.
It's slow, but it's also faster than if he had come back into it small Mario. Since he doesn't have to build a bridge, you know.
For some levels, alive is better than slow. Or alive is better than fast. That's what I meant to say. And speaking of levels where alive is better than fast, 7F2, we might see him cloud through this. Yes.
Yes, we do. Good idea, probably.
For the much easier 4-2.
Yeah. No,
I am really curious. I am really curious when Demon is going to use these hammers. Probably going to use one in this world. But man, this seed has just been chewing him up.
I can't help but feel like Demon forgotten about his hammers a little bit. Oh, fireballs did not hit even him. He really wanted that mushroom.
Oh, and another one.
He's just got so many hammers. He's got to be thinking to himself, I really need to start using these at some point.
And hammer management is...
Sorry, go ahead.
Hammer management is actually going to be much more challenging during the next race. Because this is the front half of a doubleheader. Both of these runners are going to be doing their Group 1 and Group 2 flags races back to back. And in the second race, everything changes.
Yeah, so you don't know if you're going to... I mean, there could be a lock somewhere that doesn't even matter, or there could be a lock that's even more important than you see in this group, this flag set.
I've been really impressed with Garion's inventory management skills in this seed. It's a very underrated aspect of Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. Just besides, most of it is just reacting to platforming elements, but inventory management is equally important.
Yeah, for the randomizer, it adds an extra layer to how you have to play this game. Just reacting to what your inventory is going to look like, and what the stages ended up being. The random aspects of the world, yeah.
So it does look like Garion at this point has about a world and a half lead.
And this is a great time to have fire. Oh no! How many hits was he away? Like 3, I want to say? 3 fireballs away?
Not too many.
It's 2, I believe. That was 2 landings. 3. Nice bounce away from the... At least the balls are all clustered together. Or maybe that's a bad...
This could be trouble.
No. Oh god.
Come here, Lemmy.
It's 5 right now, so he's fine. He probably knew he was fine. He's like, you can't be more than 5, so I'll be safe right here. Wait for him. Probably, I want to say the second hardest boss, in my opinion, next to Windy, who is the actual boss of this game.
I have more trouble with whichever Koopaling is the ADHD Koopaling, and by that I mean the ones that have the high jump, because they can just kill you with nothing you can do about it, because this game's hitboxes are obviously the best programmed hitboxes on the NES, OPOP.
It's anything that travels upwards too fast, it doesn't register properly when you're trying to jump on top of it.
Yeah, I could have sworn Garion had another hammer.
I'm really liking DemonBattler's frog suit through Atlantis, though. He's kept it all this way.
I like this play as well. Frog suits are some of the least useful items in the randomizer. So if you see a water stage, sometimes it can even be worth it to take an intentional death and go through the level of the frog suit.
Oh no.
Atlantis is not a level you want to get killed on. Does Demon have a cloud?
Yeah, that's what
he does not.
Oh man, that is unfortunate.
He might be fishing for one.
Maybe this will be a cloud.
Just a P-Wing.
P-Wing's still nice for Atlantis if you're just hating it.
You just have to make sure to descend at the end, otherwise you'll soft lock.
Yeah, make sure to descend at the end. That's for sure. Oh no! Did you see Garion almost took a death right at the end of 5? The one with the flying beetles.
I bet I know what Garion.
So scary.
I bet I know what Garion just said when he nearly fell off that stage, because I've done a lot of races with him in person because we've gone to a lot of events together. He's a character.
All right, we get to see what Fort 1 item is. Cool. And
a lot of P-Wings. We've seen a lot of P-Wings in the seed. And Garion has been making pretty good use of them. Although I am a little bit surprised that neither one of these runners has gone for a P-Wing clip yet in an airship.
Come on, DemonBattler. Oh, that good use of the star by DemonBattler there.
He should be safe.
Yeah, he should be good. I mean, there is this guy. Alright, he's fine. And
Mama Blooper, one of the worst underwater enemies.
The worst thing is when you get through Atlantis and it's a Hammer Brother outside and he jumps in the air. Right as you try to... You think you're safe.
Ice physics getting the better of Garion.
I'm interested to see whether Garion goes over or under at the end of the stage. Oh, well, he doesn't have a loop tail, so I guess he'll probably go under. Yeah, he's going under. Scary blind jumps in this stage without it being auto-scrolled. If it was auto-scrolled, it would scroll down and you could see where those platforms are that you're jumping down to. But since it's not auto-scrolled, it's blind jumps, so you just kind of gotta know.
Not as scary as 6-7. 6-7 has much scarier blind jumps, the auto-scroll.
For sure. Yeah, that was a good time to use a star. Because that would have been a nightmare without a star power-up. Those two Hammer Brother that's stuck inside the little platform. Wow, another Fred.
Garion's going, or Demon's going to have a much easier time with 7F1 than Garion did, due to at least being big.
Yeah, for sure.
And Garion is through the first 7 worlds of this seed onto World 8. Now, in World 8, what you're going to want to do is try to get access to as many pipes as possible, as quickly as possible, because they are looking for the magic pipe, and there are 6 pairs of them that will take you to Bowser's Castle. And pathing can make a difference, but at this point, this is absolutely Garion's race to lose.
Absolutely. Not one of my favorite stages to start with in World 8. This is where I usually get hit by flying, or Paragoombas quite a lot, is in this stage. Although, he did not get any Paragoombas in his way. Made that look really clean. Is the first pipe the one that goes to Bowser? Nope. Oh man, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see the hand bridge. Is he going for it?
Are you gonna mash for me, Garion?
Come on, jump.
Aww.
Mash jump. Mash jump. Aw.
So the thing about that passage is that is actually a pixel perfect fit between the ceiling and the platform, so you can actually jump every other frame.
Yeah, so you can make it go. You can make a funny sound like. I do it every time I'm Super Mario. So.
Oh, I thought I was the only one that did that.
Like if I can't damage boost across those spikes, then I'll just stand there and do the jumps to make it sound funny.
I'll do it anyway, even if I can.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Oh, grabbed by the first ant, of course. This is a stage I actually find pretty fun, to be honest.
Oh yes, this stage is very fun. The stage is very fun, has some really cool strats. The stage also has a Tanuki suit if you want to, or not a Tanuki suit, but it has a large power-up if you want to grab it.
The bullet bills had him trapped a little bit.
It's very easy for that to happen in that stage if you slow down too much.
Is he gonna grab that second hand? Come on, let him skip at least one hand. Oh no. Oh, it's 50-50. Oh well, at least it's a hand stage. Wait, is this vanilla?
I think this is vanilla. You are correct.
Yeah.
Third.
Of all the places you... Oh my god, he got grabbed by
Three
every
hands.
hand. Oh, every hand.
3 hands. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Clearly he's on PB pace because that's what this game does. Is it gives you 3 hands when you're on PB pace, and then it gives you 0 hands when your run is dead because that's how Super Mario Brothers 3 works.
That was a really good jump across the lake by Garion. I failed that more than I care to admit. Alright, well, at least if he has to come back across those hands again, at least he doesn't have to think about it.
And now Demon's in 7F2, but with a tail,
And he
so
does, and he
should
does
be.
have to go across the hands again. Oh my, all that work to run into a lock on the right side of the dark portion of World 8.
This is actually one of the big reasons why I like to save a hammer for World 8 in Group Flags 1 only. In any flag set where shapes are involved, well, it's not true shapes yet, that's a version 2.0 thing, but any sort of a flag set where there is no map shuffle going on, I like saving 1 hammer for World 8.
Well, let's see whether a hammer would have been really useful, because he would have had to gone through all 3 hand stages, but let's see, where does this pipe want to lead now? Alright, to the left side. He's going to end up having to do the entire World 8, so it's got to be.
It depends, and the value of that hammer is actually going to depend on... It's going to depend on whether the airship, or not the airship, but the if the pipe to Bowser Road is vanilla, then it would save time.
For sure.
But I believe that's
that 6 slide like right underneath the Koopa Troopa's feet.
That is a really cool slide.
It looked really cool right there. Oh no, DemonBattler hit his head against the pipe and fell straight down instead of making it onto that.
To answer a question in chat, the randomizer could theoretically make part of a world inaccessible. That is actually incorrect. The algorithm that generates the pipe layout makes sure that every portion of the world is accessible.
Right. That's part of the strategy with World 8, is just knowing that when you see a lock, you know that it doesn't necessarily have to be the lock you have to break to eventually get to Bowser, but you will always be able to break that lock. You'll never be... Oh no, DemonBattler.
Demon's having a lot of trouble with the 7F2.
Yeah, 7F2 is giving him a real rough time, and that's a game over, unfortunately.
So he's going to need to redo not all of World 6, but a significant portion of it.
Is Garion going to do door 3, you think?
I don't think Garion goes for door 3.
No door 3. I mean, I always feel
this is heads up. Door 5 is heads up though.
Getting that power up is definitely a good idea.
Door 5 is very heads up. I haven't seen too many runners go for door 5 in this fort.
If I'm already Super Mario, I won't go for it, because it'll probably be like a flower and I won't be able to get it without falling in the water, because it's on the edge, you know? Although I'm not certain whether you can, like, duck, jump, and clip through above the block and then turn right at the last second to not fall in the water.
Hey, Herbaceous, remember what I just said?
No, what did you just say?
Remember what I just said about hammers in World 8?
Oh.
That exact situation
that hammer was the one he needed, or that was the lock that was blocking him? Alright, yeah.
Yes.
Proves your point, yeah, for sure.
It comes up enough that I think it's worth saving one.
Yeah. I'm starting to come around to your theory there. Nice leisurely P-wing over the Air Force.
Now in group flags 2 or any flag set with map shuffle, it's a different story. Just because well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we reach World 8 in the next race, but you'll see why.
And does he have a hammer suit? I don't remember. No, he don't.
He has neither. He doesn't even have a fire flower, so he's going to have to.
We get to see the
he's
cool
going to have
fight
to
against Bowser.
Oh yeah, the intended fight.
Yeah, not the lame Hammer Brothers fight against Bowser.
But that fight's cool too because it's so fast.
Yeah. Oh, never mind clip. There we go.
Anybody can do that.
Oh my god, he scared the heck out of me by falling to that donut.
Did you know that clip is in the official guide?
Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, I have heard that before.
I still have my copy of it.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. That there's actually it's like a bug in a way. I don't know. I guess you could consider it an exploit rather than a bug, but it's cool that they are just like the Nintendo's like, yeah, we left this in there on purpose. We promise. I still wonder whether this hitbox on Bowser, like, is this on purpose? Did they mean to leave this in? Because you would think that when they tested the game that someone would have tried this. Nice, easy, casual way to defeat Bowser. Just hang out. Just hang out with them for a bit. That's all he is. What's a friend?
It's clearly a dev star. It's clearly just the equivalent of a dev star, right?
Is it?
And that will do it. Garionoldwolf has defeated Bowser. And we'll be rescuing Princess Toadstool, and we'll be winning our first race.
Good game to
And Garion is through the door and does take down our first race with an official SRL time of 62 minutes and 7 seconds. GG to Garionoldwolf.
It was a pretty rough seed overall, I think.
Oh, absolutely. It was not an easy seed.
I think Demon might make it through the infamous 742. He's just got to be careful at this last little bit. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. Oops, sorry, I'll be back in a moment.
And it does look like Demon is going to finish this one out. So just great sportsmanship on his end for not forfeiting the race.
Yeah, this is the kind of seed where you kind of just got to finish it just for your own sanity's sake. After what DemonBattler has been through.
It is going to get a little easier for the last couple worlds, but
for sure,
just the first world and even a couple worlds in the mid game were just not at all easy.
I'm trying to remember. Does DemonBattler have a hammer still?
I think
he had so many so early on. I can't remember how many.
I'm pretty sure he has a couple left.
So maybe World 8 will go a lot quicker for DemonBattler. Also, if he doesn't get grabbed by every hand, that would help. Fire kill. Is he gonna get the fire kill? Ah, he doesn't quite get it. He might still get it. It was a nice mixed kill on Limmy there. Couple of jumps on him and a bunch of fireballs. Oh right, I completely forgot it was World 1 right here, so this should go pretty quick.
And as is per the standard on these double races, we will not be interviewing either one of the runners until after both of them have finished the doubleheader. And I did not actually go over the runners' records at this point either. This is actually Garion's first win. So this win will actually put him to a 1-4, and DemonBattler with after this is going to be 2-5. So it does look like. It does look like a Garion would have to win out to be in contention for a spot. And I believe this loss does put DemonBattler out of contention for a spot in the top 2 to advance.
Yeah, but I mean, DemonBattler, he got it. He took a win off me and Jake over. So, good on him.
That says something. This group in general has been exciting.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Macobra is very, very strong. Actually, would not be surprised to see Macobra make a good run at taking down this entire tournament. But the rest of this group, any of those races can go any way. So Demon is on the way to World 8.
I think he has to cross the hand bridge and then use a hammer and break the pipe or break the lock.
I don't think he's going to do that though. I think he's going to take the long way around.
Oh, okay.
Because just because of the way the two of us play in terms of strategy is very, very similar. And that tends to happen when one person teaches another how to play.
Right.
Because there are a wide variety of approaches that you can take to these seeds.
Well, he's checking the pipe that goes to the hand bridge now, so we'll see what he chooses to do.
He'll probably turn around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
immediately. He just, nope, not doing that. And, I mean, Super Tanks is always, when you see Super Tanks as a fort, you're pretty happy.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the shortest ones.
Yeah.
And with the hammer situation, if I did not have a hammer, then I absolutely would have played the Air Force stage and then turned around, just in case.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean.
Because you can lose because if you later find that you need to complete that fort, you can lose a surprising amount of time just backtracking on the overworld, and that is going to come into play in our next race.
Yes, it will. Go ahead.
Where you can lose a surprising amount of time just to overworld navigation.
I'm glad DemonBattler just realized to stop sliding. I mean, he still got hit, but he realized, wait, can't slide. That's a jumping. You're so used to sliding at the beginning of 1.5 when you play this game casually. That... Oh, nice jump! Nice jump over the piranha plant by DemonBattler. That was pretty
glad
sweet.
to see him execute that. That's one I taught him. Oh, it looks like he did not want to actually pick up these stars because I saw him turn around, so he was trying to delay. You don't have to delay too long. He just probably realized it too late.
It's actually kind of hilarious to me how easy it is to get a star in the final card thing at the end of each stage. It's like they really wanted you to just get stars.
And it's definitely the easiest of the Super Mario Brothers trilogy on the NES, but it is still not. This is still not an easy game.
Maybe I'm just biased because I played it more, but I feel like Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Brothers USA, whatever you want to call it, is the easiest one. DemonBattler's Wang his options here. Did he want to break that lock?
No.
Okay, then yeah, you're right.
No, we know the other side of that lock is garbage.
Well then, good choice by DemonBattler.
I don't think he knew that it was garbage, but we know.
So I assume it's up and to the left is where the pipe is. It goes to. I kind of missed it on Garion's side, but I assume that's where it is. Oh,
the vanilla configuration. That's correct.
Oh yeah, vanilla configuration. You know, I completely forgot how the pipe system was laid out in World 8 and vanilla because I played so much of this randomizer.
Well, I also run vanilla, so that helps in that aspect, but I think Demon and Gary and I believe both have done runs of vanilla as well. Now, the way I look at vanilla, in terms of how much of a better rando player it makes you, is if you're good at vanilla, it will make you better at rando. If you're great at vanilla, it will make you worse at rando.
Yeah, I've heard several people say that, and I completely agree. It makes sense because when you get the muscle memory of doing P-speed strats in stages, sometimes it can really mess you up when there's going to be randomized enemies in the stages, you know?
That is exactly correct, and it looks like we are going to see
a hammer brother kill.
A hammer kill. just need to take your time with these space waffles, because as of the latest version, their rotation direction is randomized.
Yeah, those waffles are in a really mean place because it's always at the very end of the seed. You just want to finish it, so you tend to like accidentally rush too much when you go through those waffles, and then one of the like counterclockwise ones will suddenly get you because if it's randomized to be counterclockwise. And nice and simple Hammer Brothers kill. The end.
Down goes Bowser for DemonBattler, and he will be our runner-up in this race.
GG.
Oh, I like what Demon is doing. He's throwing hammers to the song. That's wonderful. And DemonBattler does finish as our runner-up in this race with an official SRL time of 75 minutes and 36 seconds.
All right, I'm really looking forward. I mean, Group Flags 2 is always a lot more interesting than the first one, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of nonsense we get here.
Oh, Group Flags 2 is super fun. If any of you are familiar with Fred's other project, the Zelda 1 Randomizer, this is about as close to Shapes as you're going to get. I believe True Shapes for SMB3 Rando is going to be a 2.0 thing, but that's actually quite a ways out. There are significant technical hurdles that Fred would need to overcome to make Shapes a thing, but it's going to be absolutely glorious when it happens.
Yeah, I can't believe it's even theoretically possible, to be honest. But that'll be amazing. I'm really looking forward to that if it works out.
Hey, could you imagine, in addition to just shuffling all the levels and castles around like it is now, having random world map shapes? That would just be awesome.
Yeah, that would be so cool. That would be incredibly cool.